What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Nightowl channel. Today, the newest installment for the NHL series has been released for everyone, NHL 19. And I want to give you a quick review on what I've noticed, what has changed, and if it actually is worth the $60. Hope you all enjoy. So NHL 19 released today, and I spent a good chunk of time in each of the main modes trying to get a feel for what has changed, what's different, and also in the brand new mode, World of CHEL, to see what really has changed in the brand new NHL 19. So with that being said, let's start with the two most popular offline modes, which has personally always been my favorite, Franchise and Be a Pro. So let's start with Be a Pro. Be a Pro, you start by making a character. So I made my character as Aroni, who almost ended up looking like Loki on ice. Oh yes. But we sidestepped that landmine by giving my guy something Loki will never have, a full-grown beard.
God, you down creature.
Be a Pro, you create your character and then you get in the NHL, you decide which way you want to go, Memorial Cup, CHL, or just pick your team. That remains the same, and then once you get into it, it literally looks exactly the same as it was last year. There's nothing different. The only minor addition they have is something called a skill tree. And so the way NHL 18 worked in Be a Pro is that the way you can upgrade your character is if you play with your character and whatever skills he uses during the game, those are the skills that get upgraded. So, you know, if you shot a lot, your shooting would go up. If you score goals, your accuracy goes up. If you hit people, your hitting goes up, stuff like that. But now they have, so that's still incorporated in the game, and now they've added skill trees, so that way you can also focus on, you know, the attributes that aren't going up directly, like speed. Like my speed was always stagnant because there was no way in game to work on your speed. You just skate, but it didn't say, oh, speed, 20 experience point. It didn't do anything like that. But that's it. Be a Pro is exactly the same. It's just as dull as ever. So now we're going to take a look at Franchise mode. Unfortunately, Franchise mode is going to have the exact same verdict as Be a Pro mode. It's another offline mode. It used to be very popular, but it just seems like they're copying and pasting, and all they're doing each year is adding a new minor addition. And that's exactly what they do here with Franchise mode. So the new thing that they add to Franchise mode is this new scouting mechanism called the Fog of War. And basically what you can do, or basically what the Fog of War does, is now puts this veil under or over all of the players in the NHL, all their overalls. So no longer will you know accurately the overalls of every player in the NHL. So they're trying to mimic what it's like to be an actual GM. So now it's like, you know, in the old NHLs when you scouted rookies and you, like, you know, you had the green for, like, you know, high accuracy, he's definitely gonna be this overall, and, you know, red and stuff like that. So now they're like these binocular icon, and it's lit up. So the more it's lit up, the more accurate it is. You know, the duller it is, the less accurate it is. So now you have a team of scouts, and I think you have different levels, like pro scouts and like amateur scouts or something like that. And I'm assuming the pro scouts can do more than amateurs or get more results or something like that. And now, so when you go trade for a player or you sign a free agent, you now need to scout them out so you can know what their overalls are exactly. And for me, it's just like,
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
and the reason I say that is because, you know, playing through Franchise mode, when I had, you know, the scouting, you know, everybody, you know, has a scouting option to scout rookies, so you can, you know, scout the next best player for, you know, the NHL. I didn't really care. I had it on auto, you know. Every time they were like, hey, your next scouting assignment is ready. What do you want us to do? I just click OK, and they do it automatically. I don't really care about scouting. You play Franchise, or at least I do. I play Franchise mode to play, win the Stanley Cup, you know, trade, get new people, whatever. Play out through the season. It doesn't, I mean, I'm not there to scout people. I know it's part of it, but it's not, I mean, if that's their new and improved thing to make us want to play Franchise mode again, to me it's not enough. And it's not enough. Just like Be a Pro mode, it's very dull, it's very simple. It's just what it was last year. It's exactly the same. There's no difference. They're just adding a new complicated scouting mechanism. I mean, you can actually turn that feature off and boom, it's exactly like NHL 18. So unfortunately, Franchise mode and Be a Pro mode, The two most popular offline modes are terrible. So if you are getting this game and you're thinking about getting it just to play the offline modes and enjoy the single player, if you played NHL 18, you might as well just keep that copy because it's exactly the same. The only reason I would say to get it is because of the gameplay, and we'll talk about that a little later. Alright, now let's talk about their online modes. Their two main online modes, which is World of CHEL and HUT. We're going to start with HUT. HUT, by far, their online modes way surpass their offline modes. You can tell that they took their time, and this is what they really focused on. They focused on the online modes of the game and not the offline mode. The online modes have so much depth to them, especially HUT. HUT has the most depth to it. It has online, offline, challenges, lineups, collection. I mean, it is the whole package. HUT is what makes the game fun for me as of right now. It's the most played game mode that I play. If you are a fan of NHL HUT, I would get it. I would get NHL 19 because it's definitely a lot of fun, and definitely cool to see like them bringing the legends in and the current players and mixing and matching, and it's always cool collecting those cards. Also, I read a little bit about the HUT changes that they were making this year from last year. Was that they're controlling how fast people can grow, so that way people can't stack their teams so early. So by the time the NHL season starts and by the time December hits, you got these stacked teams are just blowing everybody out, and the new people who start or people that have been playing as long and maybe don't have the money or maybe the time to do it, they still have time. They still have the ability to keep up with those people. So because it's at times in HUT, it wasn't a matter of skill that made you lose the game. It was a matter of, wow, this guy's got Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and Sidney Crosby already. Like, how did he do that? So it's definitely going to be an interesting season of HUT, and I'm very excited to see how it progresses and how it develops. Very interesting. Definitely would recommend, if you are a HUT, like I said, if you're a HUT person, get the game just for HUT. It is literally worth it. There's tons of content, tons of things to do, and it's a lot of fun. Like I said, right now it is the most played game mode. I literally can't stop playing it. It's so much fun.
Fans, welcome to Threes, a game where the action is always hard.
So now let's talk about the World of CHEL. The World of CHEL, like I said, the online modes definitely surpass the offline modes in this game, and the World of CHEL does not disappoint. So the World of CHEL is an evolution of the fan favorite EA Sports Hockey League, the EA SHL, that introduces a new unified progression and customization system for your creative character across new and returning modes. And the 4 modes you can play in is the NHL 1s, the Pro-Am, the EA SHL itself, and then the NHL 3s from last year. Now, I've played through each of the modes and I've tried every single one out, and it's pretty cool because now you can see how popular each one is. When you start up a match and you're looking for a match, it says up in the bottom corner if it's a popular mode, if it's a lot of people playing or not, and how long it takes for you to find a match, kind of thing. So when I was playing, I started with the Pro-Am, and the Pro-Am is actually an offline. It's actually an offline World of CHEL. So you can build your online character offline before going online. That's what you can do with Pro-Am. So I played a round of Pro-Am. It was pretty easy. I scored like 7 goals.
We've got a badass over here.
And I'm assuming it gets progressively harder as you continue to beat more challenges. But the first challenge was pretty easy. And then after that, I went to go play 3s. 3s are pretty fun, even though we got destroyed. But other than that, 3s was pretty fun, but the most fun I had was on 1s, actually. The 1v1v1, the triple threat mode, that is literally the most fun mode out of all of them. And I don't know why it's so fun. It's not just because it has that arcadey feeling to it, but it's because you're playing against 2 other people, and when you get past both of them, or you like sidestep between both of them and score a goal, it's like the greatest. It's just really fun. I just love playing it. I won my first 2 games and then I got completely crushed by this one dude. So anyway, yeah, ones is my favorite mode out of all the, World of CHEL modes that they have. EA SHL, 6v6s, they're not as popular as they were because you can't really find a full squad to do 6-on-6. So most people either default to the NHL 3s, or I like the ones. The ones are really fun. Like I said before, sidestepping between people, deking them out, and then you got the second guy and you score. It feels pretty great. I had a lot of fun playing it. So definitely EA did a good job with their online modes. And now we're going to talk about something that integrates all the modes, which is the gameplay. So the gameplay of NHL 19, when I first picked it up, it does feel a little different. Now I'm not saying, graphics look the same. They still got Mike and Eddie, commentating on the games and stuff like that. Same old boring stuff, and eventually it gets so repetitive that you can literally predict what they're going to say before they even say it. So none of that stuff's really changed. But the gameplay itself, I can't really complain too much because they really did a good job making adjustments to how the skaters skate. It feels a lot more realistic, and it's kind of like it just feels a lot different. People that have played NHL 18 or any previous NHL titles, if you pick up a copy of NHL 19, you will feel the difference as soon as you play. Hitting is a little different. It's a little more realistic too. It's not like people are getting destroyed, stuff like that. It's more of like an entanglement. That's what I kind of found myself getting into a lot when I got hit or hitting people. It wasn't more or less of like a destruction and the person's going down every hit. It's like an entanglement and kind of like a more realistic reaction to, when a person in the NHL gets hit, they kind of get stumbled or jumbled. Their arms maybe flail a little bit, the legs kind of spread out, maybe stick goes away, and it just seems more realistic, and they're on the right path towards a better game. Because this is a franchise, this is a series that won 20, 22, 24, whatever sports of the games. I mean, they're on the right path, and they're making good small adjustments. The only problem I have with the game is the offline modes and the penalty frequency. Good lord. And it's like they pick and choose what penalties they want. Tripping is like the #1 thing they love to call. You accidentally touch their leg with your stick, they're going down. You accidentally graze their thigh, they're going down. But other than that, can't complain. I think it's a good game. Maybe it's not worth $60, but I think it's a good game. I love ones and I love Hut, and offline modes are complete trash, but I'll probably still play them anyway because there are some days that you don't want to play online. You don't want to play against other people, or you don't want to work on Hut. You want to work on a franchise and build something, offline. So it's always good to have those offline modes, but they need to work on them. That's it. That's the only thing. If they worked on their offline modes, I think this would be a good game. It would be a better game. It would be worth the game. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's just like NHL 18. It feels like NHL 18 and stuff like that. It does. I mean, once you get used to the new skating and stuff like that, you can literally adapt to it. But I don't see why people are complaining about that too much, because if you're a seasoned NHL person and you've been playing for a while, of course it's going to feel exactly the same. You're not going to completely switch up the whole game, make it completely, new physics engine, complete, it makes it feel completely different. And then you have to learn how to replay the game all over again. I think that would be kind of ridiculous. But the things that people are complaining about, I don't know. I don't really see the issue with NHL 19. I think it's a good game. And my opinion, if it changes later, I'll do another review and tell you why. But that's just my 2 cents. After playing it for about a day and a half and going through all the modes, I briefly went through the offline modes because as soon as I went in there, it was the same old scene. I didn't really have to spend time with it because I'd seen it before. I just wanted to see what the new stuff was, and it wasn't very hard to, dissect what it was, and then you just move on. But Hut was cool, seeing all the new stuff, seeing all the, things you could do, and then World of CHEL, just exploring, opening the new bags, and customizing your character, and trying out the new modes. Yeah, big fan of ones, big fan of Hut. Can't complain. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about the game. If you do have the game, if you're considering purchasing it or not, or maybe why you're not purchasing it, we can talk about it. I'm not saying I'm defending EA here. You know, they definitely need to work on it. They need to put some more effort into it the way they do FIFA and, you know, Madden, stuff like that. But overall, I think they're getting better. I think they're like slowly improving. Is it worth $60? No, but you know, you can't really argue the price there. And I want to play a hockey game. I love hockey. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I love the series. I love playing the game. I've been playing it for a while, so definitely a supporter. But I think it's getting better, slowly but surely. But like I said, guys, if you have any questions or anything, or you know, you have a comment or any sort of anything about the game, just let me know in the comment section. We can talk about it. If you like this video and it helps you, and you bought a copy because of it, or you didn't buy a copy because of it, whatever, definitely appreciate a like, comment, or subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.